Hello all and welcome to Wow Crochet yet again for another tutorial. My name is Mary and in today's tutorial we will be working on this gorgeous little granny circle. Now this is part 5 of our pillow, crochet pillow that yours truly, yes, had started a couple of months back but lost the pieces. So because of Christmas, I've cleaned up and I found them. So here we are with part 5 of our pillow tutorial. You will need, for this part only, you will need your gorgeous bright color, whichever one you used or whichever one you're using for your spring summer side of the pillow. Yours truly is using Bendigo Woolen Mills Luxury Citrus. Now the luxury is what it says it is. It's gorgeously soft. It is 100% pure wool. You will need a 4mm hook, but yours truly is using a 4.5. Okay, I want the circle to be a lot thicker, so I've used a 4.5. Yes, you will need your scissors, and yes, you will need that darning weaving needle. But I wanted to show you something before we started. Now I did show you in the actual video itself as well. Having a careful look at that line right there. Have a look at this circle. Do you see a line? No line, no line. You might see a very, very soft line right there. But here you see this jagged edge of your chains. The jagged edge right there. Here you see nothing. Looks a little bit solid, a little bit thick, but how gorgeous does it look? So this is a circle we are making today with the no lines. This is the one that I made a few months back. I thought I'd use the normal standard way of doing a granny circle and I didn't like it. So we're going to put that out the way and we're going to use this gorgeous piece right here. So in the meantime, guys, just make this one circle, and when we come up to part 5, which will be the actual, part 6, it'll be the actual square to your circle, the square part. I will explain how many pieces you need to do. But until then, this tutorial is just to show you how to do the granny circle. So I'm not going to talk anymore. We're just going to get started. For the very first start of this tutorial, you will need to know how to do a magic loop, magic ring, magic circle. If you don't want to, just chain 3 and then slip stitch into that very first chain that you did. So you chain 1, 2, 3 and then slip stitch into the very first chain. Or you can chain 2, slip stitch into the first chain and then do your double crochets in there. Now I actually have a tutorial on how to form a magic ring or magic loop. I'm going to pop that in the description box down below. But what we'll do is I'll just do one real quickly now and hopefully you can get it. Okay, so you pop your tail end of your yarn in your hand. You pop the rest just over 3 fingers. Hold it there to form yourself a little crisscross. Okay, pop your hook under, pull the loop up, hold everything. Don't let go, because if you let go, that's where it comes undone. Now you're going to chain 1, chain 2, chain is a yarn over hook and pull it through the loop, 3. Okay, you're just going to try and do 1 double crochet, which is a yarn over hook, pop it in the loop around all thicknesses, yarn over hook, pull up a loop, yarn over hook, pull through 2, yarn over hook, pull through the last 2. So now you're going to give that circle just that gentle tug and it'll close up a little bit. Again, if you do not want to do the slip knot, this kind of knot, just form a normal, if you don't want to do the magic ring, magic loop, just form a normal slip knot, chain 3 and then do it that way. The only thing is you may have a little gap in your circle. You want your circle to be closed like that, okay? You don't want a gap, okay? All right, so now we've done 1 double crochet. We've got to do, and those chains will classify as 1, so you've got to do another 10 double crochets in that circle. 1, 2, 3. I'm finding the circle is really big, so I'm just going to give it a gentle tug. Not too much, because you still need circle to get more in there. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 plus those chains makes it 5, 6, and 7, 8, whoops, it's a double, it's a half double there, almost, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now, before you close up your circle, you're going to count. I know we just did, but just in case, so you'll have the chains will be classified as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So hold your hook like that and see your little thread there? Give it a tug and it closes up shop. Like so. No gaps. Now, don't think twice, guys. You really need to weave in this end because I hear people say that their magic ring comes undone. It does and it will, unless you weave it in the circle later. Not now. We're going to finish off our circle first. Okay, now you just want to slip stitch. I'm going to get close up for this so you can see where the gap is. So that double crochet is that stitch right there. So you want to slip stitch in that stitch right there. Okay, like so. Pop your hook in, pull a loop through, and pull it through to the last stitch, and you've closed up your circle. Okay, now what you're going to do for this round, we are no longer chaining up 3. No, that's an old-fashioned value to my mind. When it comes to circles, we're going to try something different. Okay, in the same space, we're going to chain 1 first. Yep. Then we're going to put a single crochet in that very same space. If you can get in there nice and tight now. Pull through 2. Then we're going to chain 1. And that's going to be a nothing stitch in every row. And I'll explain that to you at the end. Actually, I've explained it in the promo, but I'll explain it at the end as well. Okay. So yarn over hook, you're going to put another double crochet or a double crochet in the same space. And that will be classified as your very first stitch in this round. This is a cover up space stitch, and I'll explain that to you again later. Okay, so now in each stitch you are going to put 2 double crochets. Very basic part of a granny circle, solid granny circle, is to put 2 double crochets in each stitch all the way around. Easy? I know, right? Easy. Now I'm struggling because I've had to turn off the air conditioner. It's really hot in here. So I'm struggling with the yarn. The air conditioner is so loud, guys, that you can't hear what I'm saying. You're probably thinking, oh, that's a good idea. No. I'm naughty, aren't I? All right, let's just keep going with our 2 double crochets in a round. Now remember, if you didn't do your stitches right, you won't add up. But if you have had 12 stitches in the first round, you should have 24 stitches in the second, okay? Or 24 double crochets. Okay, nearly there. 2 in each space, okay? If you are new to crochet and you are just joining us, firstly, welcome. If I'm going too fast for you, I do apologize. I tend to forget how fast I go. You can actually pause the camera and pause it right now and then come back to us. We're ready to do the last 2 stitches, all right? So we are now here at the last 2 stitches. We're going to put 2 double crochets in there, 1 and 2. Now, before we go on, we're going to count, and I usually count backwards because it's easier for me in this round. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. And remember, this one doesn't count. So you actually got 23. You need to put 1 more stitch and you're going to pop it into the one that doesn't count. Okay, and this is where the trick is. See that stitch right there, that space right there? You're going to put a normal double crochet in there, like so. It's going to look really packed and really full. You're not going to slip stitch it to that little single crochet, nor are you going to slip stitch it to the chain. You're going to go right over to that double crochet and slip stitch to the top of that double crochet right there. Pull a loop through, and that's what you should have. It looks a little bit bulky there, but you cannot see a gap and you won't see a really dark line later. Okay, I'm hoping this is making sense for you. See a nice close up? That's what it should look like. Oh, sorry there. That space right there should look like that. Okay, so now you're going to chain one again, single crochet in the same space, chain one again, and you're going to put another double crochet in that same space right there. All right, and that's your first double crochet, and this is your nothing stitch. Okay, now you are going to put this round here, you're only increasing by 1. So before we did 2 in each space, now we do 2. Even though that's 1 now, it's going to be 2 when we come back around. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and so on. We are going to start with putting a 1 in that very next stitch. So 1 double crochet in that next stitch, 2 in the next one. 1, 2, 1 in the next, 2 in the next, 1, 2, 1 in the next, 2 in the next, 1 in the next, 2 in the next, 1 in the next, 2 in the next. At the end of this round, you would have had 36 stitches. Again, as long as you counted your stitches properly. 1 in the next, 2 in the next, 1 in that next, 2 in the next, 2. That's what you should have so far. Okay, so 1 in your next. We're nearly at the end of the row, so I'm just going to keep it going. 2 in the next, 1 and 2, or 1 in the next. We go a little bit faster, and 2 in the next, 1 and 2, 1 in the next, 2 in the next, 1 and 2, 1 in the next, 2 in the next. Your very last stitch should just be 1. Okay, 1 in that very last stitch. Now that's the last stitch, not that one, because that's a part of that unusual thing we did before. So just do 1 double crochet in that space, hold it there, because we're going to count before we do any more to make sure we have all our stitches. See how that space looks gorgeously closed? I love the magic ring or the magic circle, whatever you want to call it, magic loop. Okay, so we're going to count, and again I like to count backwards in this. You don't have to count any way you like, so it's just 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 35, and we are going to put that last stitch in there. I'll show you what I mean. Remember that double crochet we did before, and I said all this is a nothing. We are going to pop our double crochet in that space right there. Okay, it's kind of on an angle really, and then you're going to slip stitch it on top of that very first double crochet, not the chains and the single crochet, but the actual double crochet. So that stitch belongs to that double crochet, and that stitch belongs to this double crochet. So you're going to slip stitch it through, and there you go. Pretty good, huh? Pretty good. If you bring it out, you can have a look at the stitch. You cannot see a line. Okay, it looks gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And what you can see is a very faint line, so it's not noticeable. And if you were to look at it from far away, you won't even notice it. Okay, so that's the reason why I like to do this particular stitch here in the solid granny circle for the solid square. Okay, not for everything. All right, we are going to do one more round. Chain 1, single crochet in, let me get a close up so you can see, single crochet in the same stitch right there, 1, chain 1 again. This is a nothing stitch. I know that sounds terrible, doesn't it? Yarn over hook and put your double crochet in there, 1. When we come back in the round, you will be putting another one in there. All right, now with this row, pretty much the same as your last one, except now you're doing 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2. Okay, so we've done it. This is going to be classified as a 2 double crochet later. Okay, so your next one should be 1 and then 1, and now 2 in the next one, 1 and 2. All right, and then you go 1, 1 and 2. Okay, 1, 1 and 2. All right, what we're going to do now, so that you don't have to watch me do the whole round, we finished off with our 2. So you will go like this. 1, oh, sorry, I get a nice close up. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. Now, do all that until you get to that very last 2 stitches and wait for me there. All right, if you did your stitches correctly and you had 2 stitches left, your last one before it would have been 2 double crochets. And now you need to do 1 double crochet there and 1 double crochet in the next. Okay, easy. If you didn't, well, you need to find out where you went wrong with your count. Okay, and 2. Okay, now if you counted correctly and did it correctly, you would have 48 double crochets in the round. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 47 plus that weird stitch. Okay, now this is where you're going to close up shop now for this round and close up shop for this last part of the tutorial. Okay, so you are going to put a double crochet in that space right there. It's not exactly the same space as your little single crochet thingy. Okay, it's kind of the slip stitchy part. I'm hoping that makes sense. So it's kind of on an angle. Then you're going to skip all that fancy stuff, that little bit of work that we did, and pop your hook in the top of that first double crochet right there. Pull up a loop. All right, so now we are going to cut that thread right there. Yep, pull the loop through there. Get your sewing and darning weaving needle, because when we do our next part of the tutorial, I would like there to be no ends. Okay, so for this part here, because it's going to be in the back of the pillow, if you wanted to, you could just weave it in there and leave it there. But we're not going to do that, because yours truly, again, for those of you who know me, will know that I'm a stickler at these things and I want everything hidden away. So this is your front of your work where your knot is. Okay, we're just going to go and split a stitch right there very lightly, and pull it through. Okay. So what you're going to do is split the yarn and bring your thread down. Okay. Now you get into the back of these little spaces right here and just weave in and out. Once. And because you've already come down, don't stress too much. Don't pull this too tight or you'll be pulling all that down. You don't want that. Just go back the other way and that will not come undone. Okay. Pull the loop and there you go. Cut that. Now remember, guys, remember our little end here. Don't think that has closed it up and everything's fine. No, you have to weave this in or your work actually will come undone in the wash. Now this is not the right needle for this. Let's hope I can get the thick yarn through. Well, it's not too bad. I was working with cotton before, guys, so it's a lot thinner. Now, see your little bit there? Remember, this is the back. You don't want to be putting it on the front there. So in your back, you are just going to weave in and out in the very middle of your work. Bring that loop through tight, nice and tight, because we are making sure this is not going to come undone. Keep going in the round, all the way around. Once. Now remember, we've already crocheted over the loop as well, okay? However, that's one round already, I know, because that's the beginning, okay? Yours truly is going to go back the other way, different loop, of course, because we don't want to unravel what we just did. So there, and there. Make sure you can't see it in the front there, because if you can see your needle in the front, then your work is going to be pulling at the front as well. There you go. Now we can cut that tail end. That will not come undone in the wash. I'm telling you now, that won't come undone in the wash. All right, guys, so that is part 5 of our pillow tutorial. Parts 1 to 4 will be in the description box down below. What I'll do is actually put the pillow playlist, and when you click onto the playlist, just start from part 1 and work your way all the way up to part 4, and then this is part 5. Okay, now if you're looking carefully, you can see a very, very faint there, but this one here, you can actually see a line right there and a gap, and I've showed you in the promo, so you'll be able to see it, but there you go. I will be using that other circle that I did. I just wanted to try and do 2 separate ones to show you what the difference is. And how gorgeous does that look? They all look very similar. You can see it very, very faintly and not much. And once it's put together with the square made like that, you won't be able to see it at all. So I'm very excited about our little circle here, and I'm very excited that I actually found the parts to the tutorial. And I do apologize, guys, for leaving you in the lurch with this one, but we're back, we're here now. This will get done before the new year, if not the first day after the new year. Okay, so very, very exciting, guys. Don't stress if you haven't caught up with us. That's the joy of YouTube. You can take as long as you want to do your circles, and yeah, that's all I want to say about that. And guys, thank you so much for watching. This was part 5 of your tutorial. My name is Mary. You've been watching Wild Crochet. And guess what, guys? Until the next tutorial, ciao for now.